All right, so this shop's gotten busier.
Where we at?
Oh, we're at the Loop Center.
Yeah.
/ mechanic shop. We all know that shop's busy, but this one's gotten busier. Things are going well. Everybody's kind of getting situated. I think word's got around town that new owners are taking care of business, I hope. So we've definitely noticed an increase in volume of cars coming in and out of here, which is a great thing. Since we were slow over here to begin with, I brought a lot of the hot rod stuff over here as far as little jobs that were like almost hard to get to. Like a little job would be over there for a month. So I brought them over here and I kind of do them over here while helping this business and then going back and forth. And we're about to deliver 2. We just got rid of one the other day, but we've got a 70 Mustang from Jason Jones of On the Ground Designs here. It had, what was it, fast fuel injection on it, but the fuel lines weren't correct. It wasn't even set up in the handheld correctly, so we switched it all from the fuel system that was on it, left the fast, but went to all Automotive, and it's got a 340 pump in the tank, 6 feed, 6 return, and everything set up in the computer correctly, and it runs really well now. Before it would idle really good and kind of cruise around, but when you got into it, it would run out of fuel, like you would starve it. So all those issues are gone. I don't even know what brand coilovers were on it. So it had, I don't know where they're from. I have no idea. There's no markings on them. They're just painted like a primer gray color, the whole thing. So we switched it to Ride Tech coilovers, and then we did a full detail on it and brought the color back out on it. It's ready to go.
I feel like we should talk about this while taking a cruise around the block in it.
In the car?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Would that be all right? It's a sweet car. We need to show it off.
Yeah, we grab keys.
It is bright.
It's real bright out here.
Are
It's deceiving though, because it looks like it's really nice and good temperatures, and it's like 29 degrees. All right, so this is Jason Jones's car. So what we were talking about in there, this is
not the Shop Dad Camaro.
It's not Shop Dad's anymore.
Hold on.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
70 Camaro, or 70 Mustang. I've been told it has 2 different motors in it, so I don't know what motor's in it. I don't know if it's a Cleveland or whatever. I think it's a Cleveland. So the car was hammered when it came in, like almost too low. He's like, it doesn't ride well. It had like a quarter, maybe 3/8 at most, inch of travel in the coilovers. They lowered it down so far trying to make it low. Well, it drove horrible because it had horrible bumps here because the control arms are all the way to the top. They're like facing up. So we raised it up, which he's not gonna like, but.
See, I feel like this is stuff you should be talking about while we're driving.
Oh. The only thing I don't like about this car?
What's that?
I'm 5'10".
He's a big guy though too, isn't he not?
Bigger than I am, taller.
Yeah.
So when my head's hitting, they put these Corbeau seats in it, which I like the seats, they feel good, but I don't know why they're so high.
The Corbeau seats sometimes tend to sit higher because they did it in my Z too, and especially if you put rails on it, if it's got sliding rails on it,
It's got sliding rails on it.
it lifts it like, it lifts it quite a bit.
So it needs that. Now I wish I had a tilt column. I was gonna put a tilt steering wheel in it, but that nobody makes a direct fit for a 70 Mustang that I could find with tilt and the key on the column. Flaming River made a kit that wanted you to put the key in the dash, but I don't know where the hell you'd put it without cutting the dash up, and I don't want to cut it up. It's in good shape. So, because this is kind of awkward.
It's a really clean interior.
Super cool. Green on green. I love it. It had oil leak, and where we thought the oil leak was the valve cover, because that's what he told me. He said, "Hey man, we put a couple valve cover gaskets on it. It won't seal up." And I'm like, well, it could be building up pressure, but he's got a nice ventilation system on it, so it's venting correctly. And then the more and more I looked, I was like, well, check the oil. Like, we started, hey, where's the dipstick? There's no dipstick in the motor, it's just an open hole. Wondering where the hell the oil's coming from, right? Maybe with a hole in the motor. So I hope he sees it on here that, hey, I love that you built the motor, you did a great job, but next time, make sure the holes are sealed up and you won't have an oil leak. So we haven't had an oil leak since we put a dipstick in it. It runs pretty good. Even with the fuel injection on it though, and maybe it hasn't learned enough, but it really doesn't like cold weather yet. Once it warms up, it's good.
And
but it's set on learning system. It's like meant to learn, so it'll.
Yeah, it had been pretty warm too. Today seems to be like the coldest day so far.
Yeah. Fun car to drive. It runs too. I don't know how much power it makes. It pulls pretty good. I wish I knew more about the car, because he's been building it, from what he tells me, like off and on for like 10 years.
Well, okay, so let's get back into what you were talking about that y'all did. You switched out the coilovers because you said...
Well, the road horrible. It's bottomed out everywhere.
Yeah, you said it had, what, about an inch of travel?
At most. It had like an inch and a half in the rear and a little under an inch in the front. So I did a Ride Tech 5.2, I think it was, in the back, and then did a drop bracket off the 4-link. So I was able to get a longer shock in there, so the back is nice. Anyways, so we lifted the whole car up about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little more in the front, maybe closer to an inch. The back's about 3/4 of an inch. Center to the panhard bar was offset. We had our tires really almost hitting the quarter panel on this side, so we adjusted that for him. Just pretty much ran through and got a lot of the bugs worked out. He's never really driven the car since they've done it. The odometer says 193, and I probably put 25 or 30 of those miles on it. So I can definitely tell driving. This is the first time I've driven it since the new coilovers. I can definitely tell the difference. It was bad down this road.
Yeah, ride's nice. Like, I mean, it's stiff. Like, it feels like it's still set up for like performance.
Yeah,
but
we
it
set it
doesn't
up.
feel bad. Like this.
And it could probably ride nicer too, because it's got the coilovers are adjustable. And I think the front had 16 settings, so I put it at 8 right in the middle. And the back had 26 clicks, and I put it at 13, so I kind of just put it right in the middle.
Gotcha.
And to be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with it just the way it is.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want it to ride too soft because it's still a sports car.
Yeah.
And I don't want it too hard because I want to be able to drive it. Hopefully he'll just drive it.
Yeah, dude, this thing's sweet. Just a sweet jump in it and drive it.
We'll go up to the gas station up here and put fuel in it.
Gotcha. I will say in the future, if we do more videos like this, I need to invest in an ND filter.
What?
An ND filter. It's kind of like putting sunglasses on your camera lens.
Oh, because
everything else is blown out. Now I've got you exposed.
I like messing with this kind of stuff. Like restoring cars is always, it's like a whole different level, right? So you have it where somebody brings you a car, they're unhappy with it. It doesn't ride good, it stumbles, or, you know, I hate the wheel setup, or whatever, you know. It's fun to mess with this. I have almost as much fun doing this as I do restoring a car. The restoration process just takes so long and it's so costly.
It's a grind. This is like
it can be a mental beating too.
Yeah.
Like with this, you can kind of get some, by no means was an instant gratification working out the bugs, but it's nice that, you know, he'll be able to pick this up and drive it home, you know, fairly quick compared to cars that are at our shop for a couple of years.
It's, you know, all about tackling small objectives and making stuff run. Like this came in.
Well, he had and
well,
towed
besides
over. We had to
suspension,
drive it home.
What else was there anything else besides suspension that you guys worked on?
We did the fuel.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, we did the fuel system on it.
And you said you ran the Automotive.
All Automotive. It's got a Phantom 340 pump in it. We did away with the factory sending unit and did a tube style sending unit in it, so it doesn't go all over the place since the tank's not baffled. I don't want the gauge to go crazy. Set the right height of the coilovers. Fix the oil leak.
AKA put a dipstick in it.
Yeah. Buff the car. The car sat around for a while, so you could feel it. It felt like sandpaper. And then in the right light, when they painted it and they wet sanded it, they didn't get all the sanding scratches out of it. So it was hazy in areas. Like they didn't even try to buff that spot. So the color looks completely different than it did. Color looks a lot better. So other than that, I feel like there was more that we did to it, but I think that was the biggest part. You can't even have a conversation in this car because of the drone. Like it drones so much. Oh, I hate drone. Like that bothers my ears.
Looks like you could use some new weather stripping over here.
said it needs to go to the alignment shop, but it really doesn't. I mean, it might need it, but it doesn't pull. Goes pretty darn straight to me. I hope we can pick up more of this kind of work. This is fun to me. A little change of pace.
Dang. Even when it's 27 degrees outside, you're making money on the car wash.
Dude, people are always there. I've seen people over there in the rain, which makes no sense to me, but they do it. A little story on this one. We'll drive it if we get time. So 1980 Corvette. Gentleman came to us. He's getting his oil changed and saw we had a bunch of old cars in here and decided